Hello there, greetings. So this is Monday night. Looks like Ukraine is having a new guests that are moving in. All right, that's not what this is about. So remote view Pleiadian spacecraft. I guess I should have called it that instead of ship, but anyway. Remote view Pleiadian ship. Basically, artificial intelligence, the nature on a ship, and things like that. And also Zeta Gray, have to throw those guys in. Might as well. The AI intelligence that's connected to them. Funny though, I found with the Zetas are actually pretty humorous, and their mothership, AI was actually, or their ship A's. Some of them have ships with AI that talks to them. Not always. Sometimes it just has a consciousness. But the type that talks to them is sometimes humorous, from what I picked up on. And it's funny that some of the Palladian ships are actually pretty serious. You think it would be the other way around. No, there are alien, Zeta ships where it's just super serious and all that. But anyway, I'm not sure if any of this is helpful to anybody, but something different, uh, especially those that might be a little bit curious. Help jog in some memories of your galactic connections. Maybe you can remote view your ship and in the astral and remember, trigger some memories so you can, bring more of your galactic self forward. Eventually, we'll go into the angelic realms too. But this seems to be what's calling right now. And also, the Galactic Federation of Light tap into those energies too. Of course, a lot of this is, a point of view. Uh, and you know, you just gotta roll with it. What works for you, what doesn't. You know. Yeah. So on this dark and stormy night, we progress. We continue on to the into the unknown. So I'm Tony Conway for 5 sessions. You have a scheduler. We have shop. I'm not sure where I'm at the shop right now. I'm kind of trying to keep it. I'm somewhere. Same here. Social webinar, social network behind the scenes, and yeah, trying to get my. Hey, we're here. That's what matters. I can't remember everything. Can't tap into everything. Not supposed to tap into everything. But anyway, so it feels like the Palladians. I know. I guess they tapped. They connected with me. So I'm gonna connect with them, and we'll just see where we go with all this. If you're in Ukraine, well, say hi to your new neighbors that have moved in. I guess Russia moved in on Ukraine, and yeah, it's. I don't think the U.S. is going to do much. It might do something, but with Biden there, he's kind of checked out. So yeah, it's probably for the best. It is for the best. So enough of that. So remote view of Palladian energies. Of course, you've heard this before. The ships are pretty alive. Um, there is a lot of feminine, you know, AIs within their ships. Um, Consciousness, like in Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm not sure about the first Star Trek. Probably a female, but the ship's computer was a feminine, female voice. And the same thing to do with the Palladian roles. But of course, it's not all female. Some are male, some are female. It all depends. Some are I mean, if you really want to go out there, some Palladian ships have reptilians talking to them. They're their artificial intelligence. There you go. It's always good to diversify. Yeah, if you want a straight answer, get a reptilian. And a lot of Zeta has developed a lot of that technology in their, discoveries throughout the universe. As they get abducted by other alien beings, they learn about them and bring that knowledge forward. Let's see. So the Palladian energies, yeah, they got a lot of their knowledge from the Lyrans, the felines, because it all depends on the what Palladian you're connected to. Also, there's a lot of Palladians that are influenced by the felines, but then there are other Palladians that are influenced by gorilla people that you never hear about. And some are Palladians are influenced by shark people that you never hear about, aquatic beings. And so it all depends. I mean, just saying it's one version fits all isn't the way it works. Uh, I know it sounds bizarre, but some Palladian ships are like aquatic like they're watery, not our version of water, but just I get the word spacey, but also kind of where they can float around in their ship basically. You know, of course it's not. Of course they have different types of you know, what do you call it? I can't think of the word, but either way, everything's different between our world and theirs. But either way, you can float through your ship. Let's put it that way, just like you see on the space stations here. But it's a little bit different. But yeah, but they can float, but also they can stand. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, the words aren't coming to me. I'm tired anyway, so we'll just do the best we can here. Yeah, some of that coming anyway. It doesn't matter. Usually, if you want to get a straight answer, you talk to the AI of the ship, because a lot of times the crew members do get kind of confused, just like us. Well, it all depends, especially when they connect to a world like ours, because our world affects them. So they can just flying around their ship of love and connect to our world's energy. It's like, wow, all of a sudden we hate each other. It's not always like that. But there are cases. If you don't know what you're doing, you connect to our planet, that can easily happen. Yeah. Jeez. So obviously, it's connected to one point of view of these ships. But it's also, connected to the consciousness of the ship. What's I'm not talking about the smaller ships like the larger ones, just something you see out of Star Trek. Not exactly, but just a little bit bigger than just a little pod ship where two people are on it. And the larger, I don't know the name for it, second class ship, whatever. Everybody has their labels. You can label it whatever you want, but the larger ships are a little bit more flamboyant, is what I get. That's funny. I guess the AI is trying to sometimes impress the crew. Say, hey, look at me, I'm smart. Well, it's so they can all get along with each other, keep the vibrations going. You're going into space, and that's all crazy. You can get that way, even for them. I mean, yeah, they might be able to travel fast, and usually the AI is built to where they're all their consciousness connects to each other. You don't have to call it an AI, but we're just going to call it that for the sake of calling it. You have to call it something. The consciousness of the ship itself. Um, we'll just call it the ship's consciousness because some people get kind of freaked out by the AI stuff. I understand. So they connect to the consciousness of the ship, and they all have to kind of get along with each other for it to really work. If one person steps out of line, the whole alignment of the ship and the energy of the ship just kind of dies out. So you feel if somebody's turning bad because everybody feels it. It's like you combine. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, isn't that what you want? So similar like a classroom on a Pleiadian world, you all work, consciously, you all connect together. Doesn't mean that you're reading each other's minds, but you're just connecting to each other consciously. So it's like when someone's not understanding the material of school, and you can all assist vibrationally with that. And if somebody's not understanding it, you understand through their point of view how they're not understanding it. It just shows they're a little bit different. There's no judgment there, unless you're on a reptilian world. Or, anyway, you can go on and on with that one. Um, but yeah, usually, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but like a school environment for a Palladian world, of course, obviously, there's all different types of Palladian worlds, but they connect to each other consciously so they can learn faster. They learn together. Now, I would assume that some do feel like they can advance out of that class of students, but it feels like they all really want to stick together because they all become the same energy. You're wondering how you create a galactic family, where your galactic family could just be your classmates in school. And don't you feel that in some ways in school? Okay, maybe not on this world. Maybe you can visualize that on a world that's easier and happier. This world has been so hit by, it's not just reptilians, it's all kinds of stuff, but to divide everyone, it's just amazing. So if you're reason I'm going back to school with this, so you have classmates that grow up with each other, like from like I want to call it little school. Like when they're kids, like 5, 6 years old, or you know what are infants, and they grow up together, and then they serve on a ship together when they get older because they trust each other. Now, do some of them wander off? I don't think so. I believe they all stick together. It's like it's hard if they separate, it just doesn't have the same energy anymore. Now, they might not all go on trips into space together, but it seems like they're always connected to each other because they want to. And if somebody's not for it, that doesn't want to be with them, um, I feels like they'll just find a way to heal that. Like they still want that person to be with them in their group, and they'll just find a way where they can all love each other, basically. So that's yeah, and all these students they grow up to, they're all from different Palladian families. So it's just yeah, it's just a big, nice, friendly environment, and so like because they trust each other. This world lacks, all of that. God, our world's like the opposite. It's like, oh, this world's too much. Yeah, somebody's got to be the retard of the universe. But this world has to do everything backwards, so it's doing a really good job of that. Well, it helps other worlds get more in check too. Our world's so backwards that it helps other beings appreciate their lives. It's like, wow, you can be on Earth right now and hate each other. And that's the other thing. You take a loving family and you put them on this world and see what happens. And you see them deteriorate. And it doesn't have to happen that way, but then they eventually come back together over time, eventually. So you come here, they start to hate each other. They wonder why they keep running into each other. It's like, why do I keep running into this person? Because it's part of your galactic family. Of course, now you hate them because you're on this planet. And then when you finally leave this world, you go back to the Pleiades. You can do that with a Syrian world. You can do that with all these different worlds, and you know, see what happened there. And you say, "Wow, that really sucked. I really hated you guys. Let's go back and do it again." Shit. And they do. It's like over and over and over again. Why you do that? Why not? So let's see here. So the Palladian ship, I mean, obviously go further details on that, but let's move on to the Zetas. So their AI energy is connected to the mantis. It's connected to other beings too, but still like it's connected to the mantis. Reason being because it's history in the universe. It just knows things. The bugs are there first. I know. And how many, that's a gag of all this, all these, spiritual groups and all that. It's like, yeah, at one time we're all just a bunch of bugs. You ready for that one? Fucking no. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much further into that one, but I mean, how many are ready? I mean, when you become more spiritually open, how far are people ready to go? Like, you remember when you're an insect being, some people are insulted by that. It's like, okay, all right, that's fine. All right, we'll just keep that door shut until you're ready to see it. And that's very common. Or, like I said in the past, like a monster being or creature or whatever it might be. And that's normal. Yeah, this human thing is kind of a new thing, technically. Yeah, a creature being, I'm being serious too. A creature, humanoid being, or an insect type of being. And there's probably others, but that's enough. Um, so the AI energies of a Zeta gray ship, yeah, has dark matter or the black goo. I would say dark matter. It just knows things about the universe that a lot of alien species don't know. And the Zetas have to be in that form to handle it. It's like the Zetas is designed to handle parts of space that a lot of beings cannot handle. Reptilians can to a certain degree, but they still can't handle what a Zeta can handle. Zetas are very resourceful and going places where other beings cannot go. Like if you're a Pleiadian and you want to go to a deep space in a place that you're not sure if you're going to survive this, you take a Zeta with you. And Zetas are kind of like a probe too. It's like you send the Zeta out where the Palladians can't handle the atmosphere energies or whatever's going on in space or whatever's going on the planet. A Zeta usually can find a way to adapt to it in some form. Doesn't mean they have to breathe in the air. They can find some way of using technology or something to handle it. But Zetas are, I mean, look at them. They look like freaks anyway, right? They look like that for a reason. It's just, and yeah, they have to remove a lot of the emotion stuff because it gets in the way. I mean, there's scientists, there are explorers, there's a lot of things there, and they can do things that other alien beings cannot do. Yeah, they know they lack a lot of the emotion, a lot of what the humans people can do, and I don't know if they're jealous about it, not really, but some might be. But then they see all the problems that humans go through, like our world. So it's like everybody has their faults. Nobody's perfect. It's all just different. But the AI intelligence on a Zeta ship is usually more advanced than a lot of other species. But a lot of alien species don't always understand the logic of a Zeta or how their ships operate. It's like it's still foreign. For Arcturians, it makes an Arcturians at a higher dimension can understand it, but even there, they don't understand it all. It all depends, but yeah, it's just not supposed to be understood. It's how the Zetas interact with the universe and space travel and things. It just yeah, they can keep themselves pretty well cloaked here also. You know, I mean, of course, other alien species can do the same thing, but Zeta seems to be pretty good about it. They can, yeah, they can make themselves known, of course, like any other being, but Zeta seems to have ability that they can make themselves known and unknown better than most species, meaning they can appear and then vanish. Now, other species have learned how to do that too, but the Zeta is still kind of untraceable compared to other species. So it's just like a Zeta disappears, a Pleiadian can't find them, for example. So just to give you a little bit of hope there. Yeah, Zetas are connected to, of course, many things. Also, the aquatic, the fish energy. Some are very aquatic looking. They can handle the dense oceans, and there's a Zeta for everything. There's a Palladian for everything. I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah, it's just the feline Zeta, canine Zeta. It gets weird. Imagine you're a Palladian, mind your own business, go to this weird planet, a bunch of Zeta-looking canines walking around. It's like, oh, jeez, it just get more bizarre. So, what do we do with this? um, okay, we go into the Galactic Federation of Light. Now, this is a remote view. There is a lot of darkness within it, just to let you know. A lot of our politicians are from that, not of the best energy. Yeah, Galactic Federation of Light is, it's a little bit of good, it's a little bit of bad. It's like the Galactic UN, you can say. There's a lot of, yeah, there's levels of it. There's levels of good, and there's a lot of levels of manipulation. And obviously, like I said, that's more of the fourth dimension when I get the manipulation side of it. So it's just, and the ones that are in a higher frequency have to let the low vibrations do their thing. Yeah, just there's corruption there. We try to get rid of it, can't get rid of it, so just sort of just let it do its, just ride its wave that needs to do without shutting. I mean, they try to shut it down, but it doesn't always work that way. It's kind of complicated. I mean, it seems like they'll allow corruption to continue just because it needs to do its thing, just like our world. The Galactic Federation has a lot. They can pull the plug on this planet anytime. Though it feels like. Obviously, they're going to. Then it's karma on them if they do that. So if they want to shut this world down, all they got like millions or billions of years of karma. So it's like it might as well just leave it alone. And of course, any alien being that destroys this planet, they get instant karma, and eventually, I guess they get destroyed. Eventually, either way, they're like cursed for a long time. So it's like don't even think that way, because this world does lower the vibrations of other planets. Yeah, I mean, obviously. So I mean, this world is technically like a trickster world. Um, it's just yeah, it tricks beings into want to be positive all the time, but then they block themselves from their soul growth. It's very sophisticated here in the manipulation. It's just, but that's the thing. Members of the Galactic Federation of Light, some of them are Atlantean, and some of them are corrupt Atlanteans, and they cause a lot of difficulties here. Yeah, they went against humanity. I mean, it feels like they want to just wipe out humanity and start over again. I think they almost succeeded in that too. Those are darker Atlanteans. Due viruses. They were stopped by like all these other alien species we get Karen name, and that's why we have the animals here too to keep us going, keep us protected. The elephant beings, the fish. I mean, just all this is all these animal lives is to keep us going. Yeah, so we don't get wiped out. Yeah, and there's a lot of protections around the world, of course. Um, yeah, but the Galactic Federation of Light, I don't know. It's just it definitely has a center of corruption that is not stopped, but not looked on. I mean, they don't look at it in a positive way, but it's like because they infiltrate humanity and manipulate it. So, think about I've always felt like reptilian beings manipulated the Atlanteans, and some of them are from the Galactic Federation of Light. They just had resources, like a diplomat, started to mess with everybody, and well, it's all weakness, and they were allowed to exploit it for reasons. It's complicated there. I don't think we're ever going to get a clear explanation for everything. Um, but yeah, the idea is just to keep going forward, and we'll figure this all out eventually, little by little. We have to heal ourselves. So many are focused on the news and everything is distraction from yourself, and of course, I mean, just focusing less on the news and just more on yourself. And you don't have to go too deep, but if you put your intentions to heal you, you will find a way to do it somehow. Nothing's ever 100%, of course. Um, there are some reptilian beings that know how to shut us down, and some of them are school teachers. No surprise there. Well, I mean, beings come here and show how advanced they are, to show how much light they can bring, and some would come here to show how much darkness they can bring in here, obviously. See, the Galactic Federation of Light, yeah, it feels like it's wounded, and there's a lot of arrogant beings there. Right. A lot of them are feline too. Well, they feel their history. It's kind of like a grandkids of the ancient ones. Great grandkids are kind of stuck on themselves. Some of them are. Try healing that one. Yeah, give them a nice unicorn for Christmas. Maybe that'll help them feel better. I mean, there's like an overall snobbery in the universe itself, and if they can shut this world down the way it is, it's like it's like the feeling is try to stop us. Obviously, that's been attempted and failed. I mean, it's like a challenge by beings that just manipulate our energy. Not saying who, but you can use your imagination on that one, wherever it comes to mind. I want to blame everything on the reptilians, even if they are. Their fingerprints are everywhere. Nose print, whatever. But yeah, it's just like I mean, not just humanity had a lot to. I mean, it was given the green light by humanity. It's like, yeah, we want to learn from you, those that are mischief beings, And so humanity removed their vulnerability, or activated their vulnerabilities because you can connect to a version of light where you can't be manipulated. Like a third dimensional world can, with help or however you look at it, that can move their energy to the sixth dimension, for example, and be protected by lower dimensional energies like from the fourth and the third. You still get affected by it, but it's not as much. And so, here we just disconnected from the higher dimensions, like because in the sixth dimension, for example, they know they have problems. They can see it. They know they have insecurity problems. They know they have self-image problems, whatever it is. It just they don't have to address it in that dimension. They can to a certain extent, but it doesn't really have much effect. But when they drop down to our dimension, it's like, wow, all my problems are everywhere. I can create new ones. So it's like, it's to see. So you take this six dimensional alien race, like a Pleiadian race. It's like, okay, we're gonna remove him, we're gonna give you amnesia and we'll see what happens. They drop us down into this world, and the ones that are messing with us, they just show us how powerful. Even if you don't think they're that powerful, they're still pretty powerful. And the ones that are causing a lot of trouble here, a lot of them are mischief beings. Obviously, it's demonic realms too, but they want to prove that how powerful they are. And humanity, when it it takes a break from its busy schedule and starts to realize who's here. I mean, many people are doing that now in the spiritual development communities, and yes, that's great. But the rest of society, I mean, you're going to see angels, you're going to see demons, you're going to see what the spirit world sees. And humanity is just like, well, that's nice. We're going to keep that off. We're just going to have it on TV instead. So we're going to be entertained by it instead of facing it. So, yeah, you have like all these horror movies, which are just, it's like, geez, just, yeah, I'm not going to go into that. But the beings that are causing problems here, they're just obviously showing their talents. Hey, look, we're really good at this. And humanity just falls for it every time. And why we are here, of course, is to not fall for these things anymore. It's like you keep walking and tripping in the same spot. The idea is to walk around that, problem on the ground so you don't trip. And that's what's happening currently. And that way, see, people feel like they're not doing anything. It's like I'm just sitting here, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm connecting to my guides, sort of. But I'm not doing anything. Well, first off, do you feel like you're doing everything you need to do? It's like, obviously, you like to be president of the United States or something, save the world. But if you feel like you're feeling, you are where you need to be and you're doing everything you're possible that you can, do the best you can. Yeah, just, it's if you had chances to change things, you would have seen it, or either way. I'm not going to go into all the details, but your energy alone of awakening, I mean, you probably heard this before, but yeah, it does. You do send out your intentions to the planet, and it definitely does feel it. Of course, you also get retaliation too, every now and then, because beings are trying to stop your influence. So, I mean, it's like putting your influence out there for a more positive experience in the schools, and then slowly it actually happens. Obviously, it doesn't happen everywhere, but it can occur. So, yeah. I'm not sure where I'm going with all this. I'm getting tired. But yeah, eventually we go into the higher dimensions. Demonic beings will have to be seen. And this is brought up also about. I was asked about this about devils and Satan and all that. I mean, Satan type of beings are kind of like a Garthian beings, like the little devil people, but they're all over the place. It just here they made it into Satan. So you can say there's a species of human that looks like Satan, but they're average beings. I mean, they're just doing, they're not trying to take over a planet. And they're not necessarily evil either, just the way they look. So we have a lot to figure that on that front too. You know, yeah, the more positive way of looking at Hitler. Well, to heal that, to discuss it, laugh, to heal the vibrations of it, not to say that, wow, he's just a great guy. Obviously, there's a lot of darkness there. And the idea is just to be able to have a conversation to heal it instead of blaming and just heal all of that. And also, I don't know, probably people will feel it, you know, put the intentions to somebody like that can't incarnate here again. Obviously, not everybody's going to agree with that. I guess humanity needs a kick in the ass every once in a while, but I kind of overstated that a little bit. I don't know why I'm feeling Hitler's energy. So, anyway, just go with it, right? Well, I don't think he's allowed to incarnate here anymore, obviously, right? Yeah, it feels like he's forbidden to incarnate here because too many lives are lost. Now, does he feel bad about it? Sort of. He knew that was his mission, but obviously he got taken over himself, and other beings pretty much played him. Some are reptilian beings, some are from Orion. Yeah. Um, so, yeah, the Galactic Federation of Light is kind of a mixed bag. Now, a lot of our politicians beam up to the Federation of Light and have galactic meetings. And then they come wake up here in this world. It's like, well, I don't remember. And some of the people here obviously have been to those meetings too. So, and also to add that the karmic court has also been corrupted at one time, or now. Everybody's different. Yeah. All right, we'll move on to we'll go back to the Pleiadian energies. So a lot of Pleiadians are rehabilitation beings, kind of like Jesus beings. You connect to a Pleiadian being and you get healed. It's like, hey, I'm a reptilian. I like to take over worlds to get by reptilian being. Now I'm a care bear. Now I just want to kiss everybody. you know, now I walk around with a pillow, or a stuffed animal, whatever it is. Yeah, Palladian beings are just natural healers. So that's why some of them, in Africa have really good genetics. Well, if you're a healing being, you probably should be good at healing. And of course, the Native Americans are connected to energies too. The Syrian beings are explorers. Of course, the Palladians are explorers too, but Syrian beings are there to crack open the third dimension, discover more about yourself, go deep, open up the demonic realms, cause chaos. Well, somebody's got to do it. Now, there are worlds in Sirius that are very positive and kind, but those worlds get boring after a while. So it's like, okay, we'll just make troublemaker planets, like the Old West, galactic places similar to that. Deal with Fritzy. I don't know what she's doing here. Just have to help her. I didn't have to help her, but I helped her anyway. Um, yeah, so Syrian beings are just adventure beings, basically. Alpha Centauri is a little bit of everything. Alpha Centauri is scientific. Now, you don't hear about Alpha Centauri very often, but they're very similar to us, but they're higher vibrational sometimes. Um, very secretive. They don't want us to know. I mean, there's other types of worlds like ours, but not exactly. Yeah, they're just here's I don't know. They knew this our planet was necessary. I don't know. It feels like some worlds in Alpha Centauri do get hijacked every now and then by humans from our world. Let's see. Of course, the other thing about the Syrians, you have the oceans, ocean beings, aquatics, the sharks, the whales. Then you have the canines, the dog star, and I would say a lot of the original Assyrians were canine. I mean, a lot of them, not all of them, but well, so there were canine worlds that are just created as canine worlds, and you have the ocean worlds are just created as ocean worlds, and eventually they combined. They discovered themselves over time. Obviously, there's other elements there. The bird is there too, like the hawk. But anyway, it's just they're mostly known for canines and oceans, and of course, the pyramids. They're kind of a little bit of everything. They went to actually Sirius went to other planets somewhere outside of Sirius where there were Egyptian type of worlds. And I believe that brought that technology back to them, pyramid technologies. Because some aliens invaded Syrian worlds, it was pyramid technologies. Flying pyramids, pyramids that can be manipulated to cause weather anomalies, floating pyramids in the skies. This, yeah, something different. So we're just part of, just Sirius just basically wanted to try everything. Alpha Centauri is somewhere, but that's all blocked for reasons they just don't want us to know yet. There's definitely a lot of Earth humans out there from our planet. They're definitely in Alpha Centauri screwing around. And some of them might think Earth has been destroyed. And a lot of them don't even care. They have other things they have to deal with. Um, like the few ones, just necessary. There's more to it than that. They're just, of course, the felines came from other universes. They're sorting out their ordeals here. Because a lot of early felines were very positive, kind, but others are just chaos beings. Of course, you see that with the modern cat. At least I know I've seen it. Especially keep tearing down my background. Some just like being reckless, just in their genes. Shake things up. The Arcturians are kind of like the fathers of our galaxy, you can say. Parents, fathers, and mothers to just help us sort things out. Let us do our thing. If you want to mess up a planet, destroy it, whatever, that's on you. When it starts affecting other beings, that's when we have to move in. So Arcturians are known to let people do what they need to do for their soul survival and growth. Even Arcturians are raised as just not always the most emotional beings themselves. Well, because they have a lot of responsibility, but it's not responsibility that they're like always on, but like some beings easily steal from them. Let's put it that way. Yeah. All right, we'll just leave it at that. I've had enough. It's been a long day today. So, all right, we're closing out. Um, all right, we're gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next edition of Bizarreness. I'm not sure what would happen to, but so that's a little bit of a run through of Palladians, Zetas, and Galactic Federation of Light. We'll see what else. If you're at a hill or to it, hey, why not, right? So. All right. Have a good night. Blessings.